This exercise is called a no money. It's a great warm-up exercise as well, working on mobility of the shoulders. And so I'm going to be rotating the shoulders out and inward. And for this I'm going to use a resistance band to create a little bit of resistance. I'm going to start 90-degree bend here at the elbows. I'm going to keep the elbows pinned to the side of my body, hands straight ahead, grasping onto the resistance band with my palms facing up. From here, I'm going to rotate out and back in. Out and back in. You see that from the side? So for a front raise, using a resistance band, I'm going to step on that band, handles in my hands. I'll show you this from the side. Starting with the hands right down at the side, and I'm going to raise my arms straight out ahead of me, and right back down. And I'm only going to raise my hands to the point of my shoulders, and then return. I'll show you from the front here. Stand on the band, hands right down at the sides. I'm going to start by curling right up towards the body, and then bring those bands right behind my hands. And for this exercise, I'm going to press overhead and return. Press and return. Great exercise for developing shoulder strength. When I'm finished with this, I'll bring my hands again close to my body, reverse that curl, and back down. For this exercise, this is called a lateral raise, and for this one, I'm going to start by standing on the bands, have the handles in my hands, hands right down at my sides, and I'm going to raise my hands right out to the sides, just to the height of my shoulders, and return. Great exercise you can do with very little equipment, just these set of resistance bands, and you get the constant tension of the bands. You need to make this one a little bit harder as well. Just widen your stance, bring your feet out a little bit further, creates a little more tension in the band. Show you from the side. And that's a lateral raise. For this one, I'm going to start both hands on the handle with my lead foot, so in this case the foot that's closer to the tree, facing in the general direction of the tree. My back foot is going to be perpendicular. For this one, I'm going to start facing the anchor point, or the point where in this case the tree. I'm going to start facing the anchor point, and I'm starting with a flexed ankle, flex knee, flexed hip. So you see there's a bend on each of these three. As I rotate around, just holding my arms nice and straight, you'll now see that I have an extended knee, extended hip, and an extended ankle. So I start with flex, 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 rotate around and pivot up on that foot, which now becomes my back foot, and my ankle, knee, and hip are now extended with straight arms the entire time. So I want to keep that resistance, keep those handles away from the body, rotating around, back to the other side. By doing that, by making sure that I keep my hands away from my body, I make sure that my core is activated, my core is doing the work as opposed to just my arms doing the work. You want to avoid the temptation to just pull this into the body, take a slight turn, and push away from the body. You aren't giving the activation of the core in that case. But by keeping straight arms, rotating around, I make sure that my core is doing the work. And that's a core rotation. I'm going to loop that resistance band right around the tree. I'm going to start with my feet about shoulder width apart, or actually just slightly wider than shoulder width apart, and I'm going to have my body parallel to the bands. Alright, so in this case, I'm going to start with the resistance, or the bands, excuse me, right here at my chest, and I'm going to press straight away from my body, and return right back in towards my body. So away and in. What's happening here is the further I bring that resistance, or the further I bring those handles away from my body, the more my body wants to turn towards that tree, wants to turn towards that anchor point. And I've got to use my core to resist that turning, or to resist that twisting. An anti-rotation press. And for a row, I'm going to show you from the side here. Start with outstretched arms. Nice plank position with the body, so a nice straight position. And all I'm going to do is pull right in toward my rib cage and return. Right in toward the rib cage and return. There's variations that you can use with this, so you can do a normal height. You can do a high pull, or a high row. Or a low row. A low row right down by the waist. So a low row, standard or intermediate row right by the rib cage, and then a high row right up by the shoulders.